compete, like in the Olympics and help from her family. Have you ever been in that situation where you wanted to do something to compete for what reason, or maybe play in a concert, or maybe you had a recital that you had to do, or you didn't have to, but you wanted to do, and yet, and this says here, one day, which I know that I was in her boat, it says one day she was extremely nervous until she felt a warm hand put on her back, and it was her father. Her father knelt down, looked in her eyes, and told her that he loved her and that he was there to cheer her no matter what. If you ever experienced that, trying to do a recital or a concert or an activity or a sport, and yet you had someone that was familiar to you, that was there to watch you, maybe to play a game or something like that, how did you feel? Did you feel, wow, okay, I've got to do my best, somebody's watching me? And well, and then she went to compete confidently that day, knowing that her father was with her. No matter what the outcome was, she had someone to look to her. But the greatest purpose here on chapter 3 of Exodus, but you had Moses, and God was going to talk with him. Verse 1, now Moses kept the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of, Midian, and he led the flock to the backside of the desert and came to the mountain of God, even to, it's Horeb. And the angels of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush. And he looked, and behold, the bush burned with fire, and the bush was not consumed. Verse 3, and Moses said, I will not turn aside and see this great sight. Why? The bush is not burnt. How would you feel if you saw something? It was on fire, but yet it wasn't burning. What would be your reaction? Maybe you saw a house that was burning, but yet it wasn't being consumed. Or maybe a bush too, maybe a tree that was on fire, but it wasn't consumed. I guarantee you, I'd be nervous. I'd be scared. I might run away. Verse 4, and when the Lord saw that he turned aside to see, God called unto him out of the midst of the bush and said, Moses, Moses. And he said, here am I. Verse 5, and he said, draw not nigh, neither put off thy shoes from off thy feet, for this place whereon thou standest is holy ground. Moreover, he said, I am the God of thy father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. And Moses hid his face, for he was afraid to look upon God. Verse 7, and the Lord said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people, which are in Egypt, and have heard their cries by reason of their taskmaster, for I know their sorrows. Verse 8, and I am come down to deliver them out of the hands of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of that land unto a good land, and a large, unto a land flowing with milk and honey, unto the place of the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Amorites. Oh dear, and all these ites. Okay, that's all these ites.
Where is that?
Oh, goodness.
Yeah,
but verse 9, thank you. Now, therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel is come unto me, and I have also seen the oppression wherewith the Egyptians oppressed them. We'll do 10, 11, and 12. Come now, therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh, and thou mayest bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. Verse 11, and Moses said unto God, Who am I, that I should go unto Pharaoh, and that I shall bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt? In verse 12, and they said, Certainly I will be with thee, and this shall be a token unto thee, that I have sent thee when thou hast brought forth the people out of Egypt. Ye shall serve God upon this mountain. What if you were in Moses' spot? You found this bush that was burning, and yet you was curious, and then all of a sudden a great voice told you, first you're standing on holy ground, take off your shoes, but then I have a task for you. I have a purpose for you. What would you feel like? Dear, I'd be guilty. I'd be running away. I'd be like, goodness gracious, maybe that's Philip behind me. I don't know. But yet, Moses experienced God through a burning bush, like the little girl felt inadequate and needed to hear her father's encouraging words. Moses felt this task was too much. Have you ever experienced something that might be too much? That you needed strength from God to accomplish something? To knowing, well, what's the purpose? Or maybe God has a purpose and then you use an excuse like, get someone else. God, it's okay, why me? I think you can get someone better to do it. Maybe you can accomplish it. Brainstorm, I don't know, just throws out all the excuses you can imagine. But yet God reassures Moses that he would not be alone and that the task was for a greater purpose. I like it on verse 12 where it says, Certainly I will be with you. See, that's how it is in us in this life. God will be with us in what purpose we have. If it's maybe to make a speech, maybe it's to encourage a neighbor, maybe it's to talk to a co-worker, maybe a family member, a relative, maybe someone that you haven't spoken with for years and years, but you know that they're on your heart, and you need to talk with them. Well, guess what? God is with you. Maybe a bigger challenge is in front, financial or something else, and you think you can't go on, but yet God says, I certainly will be with you. I will be. If God was with Moses, especially when Moses, I know, was giving out excuses, oh, why me? I stutter. Not me. Can't you find someone else? Have you ever been in that position where you tell God, someone else, please, someone else, not me. I'm not good enough. You know, my tongue is twisted. I can't speak very clearly. My vocabulary is not that great. But yet God says, don't worry, I'll be with you. I'll be with you. Just like when a kid's out there doing a competition and you have your family member or friend watching them, and boy, they want to do the greatest that they can do to make them proud, especially, say if they lost something, if they lost a game, and they're just down. You know, you just grab them up and you say, hey, did you have fun? You know, you did your best. You win some and you lose some, but guess what? As long as you enjoyed what you were doing. You know, just like any competition that we may face. A great learning experience. Many times life presents challenges that seems too difficult to handle, don't they? They really do. Life does. And with life, you never know what tomorrow will bring. Maybe today is hard and challenging, and boy, you're just barely making it. That's why I know there's many times I talk to people, especially teenage, they think, well, high school is so hard I can't manage to get to. Guess what? The adults has gone through that experience. Tomorrow it's a brighter day. Believe me. Because many times I tell the kiddo, don't worry, this is only temporary. Because there's many times you become an adult and then guess what, you want to be back to childhood. I know I was talking to someone I haven't seen in forever in Little Caesars, picking up a little pizza. And we were talking while we were waiting for a pizza, and I said, boy, I sure do miss those days where all I had to worry about was school. That was it. You know, I come home, there's be food. I had clothes on my back, and you know, but now we're all adults now, and okay, electric bill, you know, gas bill. Oh, okay, we gotta make sure we have enough to get through this week and next week for payday. I mean, no, we got to. Yeah, but yet, life does present challenges, but guess what? God is ever present in them, trusting in Him and His purpose and His power. You know, we can't see many times just here in presence. Well, we can't see past that sometimes, but God does. God has a great purpose for each and every one of us, for every breath that we take. Is it to tell somebody about Him? Is it to show them grace and love? You know, there was one time this past week, I had to go get some information about someone. I went into their homes and got some information on this little girl. Said, oh, you're that Tom. And I'm thinking, okay, what kind of Tom? You know, and she's laughing and giggling. She said, you're that funny one. I said, oh, okay, I'll take that. You know, that I'm the funny one. And she said, oh yeah, I was at the school whenever you were at the school and everything. She said, oh wow. You know, it just lit her a day. But God is with us no matter what. Just continue to trust Him and His purpose. What is your purpose? You say, well, I don't know. There's many of us, or a lot of people in the world, probably don't even know what their purpose is. Some people do know, oh, I need to be this, boom, I'm going to be it. Maybe be in the ministry, maybe it'd be a singer, who knows. You know, work in a hospital, or be a teacher. And sometimes what we think that is our purpose and we accomplish it, God has another purpose for us. God is never done with us. Just when we think we figured it out, sometimes God throws a curveball. Not because that He's mad or anything, because He wants you to be on your toes to rely on Him. Because once we are comfortable in our spots, oh dear, we better be careful. Okay? Let's pray.